Hey! We are talking about the roadmap for 2023 for Rust Console Edition. That includes things like, let's go ahead and turn this on over here, horses, farming, custom servers. I know, crazy, right? 2023 is going to be nuts. So if you're watching this as a video, just continue to watch. If you're watching this as a short, just know that there's a lot more in this video. So be sure to click the link down below in the pinned comment or in the description. I'm Jade Monkey. We're talking about Rust Console Edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between. And today we're going over lots of different things. We got a loosey-goosey timeline here. So let's go ahead and kind of cover it. Just know that this timeline is very rough and things can and will change. So let's go ahead and kind of just throw it all out there. So the first piece that we have is Power Surge. Now it's sitting in PTB now, so it's in a really good place for it to come out. Honestly, I think it would have already been out if it wasn't for the holidays. We're looking at January, February, I think at the latest, if we have some kind of major patch there. Again, extreme rough estimates. So say Q1. So our next piece for estimates here is Farming 2.0. I have, and again, this could very well change depending on how Power Surge comes through or what hangups or you know, what problems they may have for farming. I have February to April, again for PTB, again, very loose estimate. Right after that, we have custom servers. That could be anywhere. We're currently, we just don't know yet. I'm going to hopefully, maybe this is an aggressive timeline, but I want to say February or April. There's really no reason why they would want to hang that back. So that's kind of where I have my expectation set. We have horses for June to August for the PTB. Again, that could very well change. And then just know that these blocks do typically go anywhere between 2 to 4 months. 3 months is the average for these. And again, as the months go on, or I should say as 2023 goes on, we'll have a better idea of how all of this is going to shake out. All right, so let's go over all the different pieces that we have currently here. So as we said before, Power Surge is cooking. It is in an excellent place right now. Again, if it wasn't for the holidays, I think this would already be out, to be perfectly honest. Or it should be out like closer to the end of the year. But since there's holiday, it's most likely going to be in January, let's be honest. But it's been running exceptionally well, especially on the core systems. Even people on PS4 or core system Xboxes have been saying that it's been running probably better than most, which is surprising because Power Surge has a lot of stuff going on, both on the server and on the client side. And just know that if you're looking for Rust Power Basics, we're talking how the components work all the way to some basic circuits. I will go ahead and link that video now in the upper right-hand corner. If you want to go check that bad boy out. Just remember, this is on PTB. It is a separate download. And if you have the baseline edition and you'd like to upgrade and get the public testing branch, all you have to do is search in, Sony in the Microsoft Store and search for Rust Dark Camo Combat Pack. Make sure that's in the item list. And then you have access to go download the PTB. Just know it's a separate download. So yeah, before we even start with 2023, we know Power Surge is coming in. I really think it is kind of left over from the year prior, from 2022, probably when you're watching this. Okay, so let's talk about the piece most people are interested in. I know we are. Custom servers. This was the initial piece that came in right when it initially came out. And I think some of this is still true, but a lot of it's changed. We've had a lot of different updates here and there. Speaking of, we know it's getting closer, and I think we're going to hear something, I think, after Power Surge comes in because it's such a keystone for all of this. There's a lot of stuff on the back end that runs, too, with Power Surge, and they need to make sure it's stable. So I think once Power Surge is close or released, I think we're going to have a better idea, and they may even show us or throw out an estimate for us. 11. So again, I'm kind of hoping like Q1, Q2, but we've seen things progress over time. This was our first public test branch. It was Oil Rig. We saw some custom server features in there like admin stuff, their ability to spawn in a bunch of extra boats, which is all very custom server-esque. Then we saw things like the fishing village. You can see they spawned a bunch of different things. We had more admins. It looks like they had more commands, which was really cool. And then the most recent, the more sophisticated one, which was really fun, the cargo ship test. They had a mobile PvP zone, and it was the cargo ship, excuse me. And then the rest of the map was PvE, showing a lot more functionality. We had like queue skips built in, you know, really getting robust. So I think we're close, and I think once Power Surge hammers through, I think we'll have a better idea. It looks like there could still be 2 price points, standard and performance, although that could very easily change. Again, a lot has happened since this initial screenshot here, but It's just nice to know that we've got all this functionality, and we'll have things like solo servers, PvE servers. Very excited for this, and we'll keep you guys up to date on all of this. We'll even have like a bigger breakdown for like custom servers as far as like what we figured out so far and like some of the things that we've kind of risen to the surface, as it were. So yeah, that's very exciting. And again, I think this is just going to kind of pop in between updates. So again, stay tuned for that. A good reason to subscribe. And hey, while you're at it, you might as well like the video. Do it! Okay, so the next big piece, and at first you might go, yeah, big deal, is Farming 2.0. They're calling it the Cultivator. And this is a big deal because it does take power. And you'll be like, yeah, like, how does this affect us? Like, this doesn't seem like a big deal. And if you're like, hey, I'm not into farming, boring. Well, hey, guess what? If you're into PvP, you need to know about farming. If you want to know what T-buffs are and have buffs during combat or even during farming, well, the mixing table is the jam, and you need to know how to grow different berries or how to combine them to get those buffs. Things like different teas, right here. Anti-rad, advanced healing teas, advanced max health tea. What? Crazy stuff. And believe it or not, you'll see things across the board where people are actually fighting for clean water sources or even water sources in general. Yeah, it seems so crazy because we can just plant things anywhere now, but it's definitely going to change, like, big time. And I think the gameplay loops are a lot of fun. So you'll be seeing things inside of bases where people have spots to grow a little bit, places to maybe throw on a couple sprinklers, water collectors, and again, you'll see people making large plays for clean sources of water, things like rivers, things like inland, what do they call? Not rivers, but like lakes and stuff. It's definitely a big deal. So yeah, PvP coming back in after you respawn, and like no longer where you want to, well, I guess you could still spam a bunch of pumpkins, but if it takes you an hour to 2 hours to grow pumpkins, you're going to be awfully upset if somebody eats a whole stack just to go back out into the fight, only to get waxed one more time and come back in, right? So yeah, it's more going to be about like you eat and you sit down and then recharge your health, and then we'll have things like buffs. So yeah, and also another reason why power had to come first is you have things like, this is called a water purifier, but I always say desalinator, just know I mean the same thing. So you can take things like salt water from the ocean or from the bandit camp and then actually cycle it in to make it clean. These will be a lot more useful for us, so you can take salt and clean water. Obviously, you'd have two different containers, but you'd have your, what is this thing called again? The water barrel. I was like, the water collector? No, it's the thing on top. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a thing, and I think it's a ton of fun. Like the gameplay loops around it, not only like the teas, but like the farming and the cloning is like its whole mini game. Just think something like, what is it, Pokemon breeding on like Turbo, right? But for plants. It's pretty dope. And yes, you've got things like this, what is this hose connector, where you can connect different things, and it's very similar to the electricity, so you can see why. You have pumps that can be powered, so you can actually push the water up and stuff. So yeah, really really exciting for this. I actually like farming a lot. I didn't think I would at first on PC, but I really, really enjoy it. Big fan. So, and the last piece here, probably maybe not the most exciting, but maybe the second most exciting, because obviously custom servers are the biggest deal. Our first major mode of transportation on land, which is going to be horses. And again, because you have things like horse poop, they will tie back into things like farming, not only for fertilizer, but, well, and also farming too. We'll have things like where you can trade in cloth for scrap, and then fertilizer for scrap. So really progressing quickly and doing power purchases with scrap is going to be a thing for even smaller groups or even solos if you want to get super heady with it. So you have things like a composter come in, and not to mention the transportation. Let's be honest, how many times have you had to go to Outpost to go trade in your stone for wood and got absolutely waxed? Now you can get on this bad boy and just book it over there, right? And you can even shoot off this bad boy. It's pretty legit. So yeah, 2023 is going to bring in a lot of really exciting stuff for Rust Console Edition. From custom servers to the transportation to the farming. I'm mad excited for this. Even the power surge stuff. So if they keep at a good pace like this, I'm definitely out of my mind excited for this. And this is going to be the best year, I think, for us so far. And who knows what else is in the future for this game, right? So again, if you're getting primed on power surge and you're on PTB, or you'd like to get ahead of the game, we have the powered turret setup, from single power turrets to double batteries to having 3 turrets on 1 battery. This will show you everything. We'll throw it up on the end screen now. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll keep you guys up to date as this starts to develop over time. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.